What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. So thank you guys again for joining us for another Sunday Stock Talk. Pretty much what these videos consist of are pretty much recapping on last week's trading, right? Talking about our best practices, talking about our mistakes, our areas of improvement, because I think that's definitely something that's going to allow us to grow as traders and to learn and to become better traders, right? As well as to talk about a little bit more about like what's to come this upcoming week. Just to be prepared, right? So if you want to be successful, it's all about having a plan. So what's been going on last week, what's to come this upcoming week. So what I've been trying to do is to make this Sunday Stock Talk, fun for you guys and a way for me to be able to communicate with you in a live So there is a live chat room. I do want to message or just let you guys know. If you guys want me to answer any questions, I'm not going to be looking at the GroupMe. I'm not going to be looking at the Facebook platform. I'm only going to be looking at the live TechBot Solutions or this video, this live chat. So I'm going to log in right now since I don't have any of your questions. But I do want to thank you guys, each and every one of you. I can't thank you guys enough for the time that you're putting aside, for these next 30 to 45 minutes. Listening and answering questions and devoting time to me and to TechBot Solutions. So there's no way for me to thank you guys enough, and I wish I could personally for each and every one of you. So let me go ahead and I'm going to click on my video. Give me 1 second. This Sunday is going well. It's been a busy weekend. I do want to let you guys know, for those that are part of TechBot Solutions or TechBot Solutions, if you guys don't know what it is, the link is provided for you down below. There is a small description that pretty much talks about what we are, what we do best. So it's about sharing best practices, sharing mistakes, an effort to promote growth. We're sitting a little bit over 10,900 members worldwide with all the different platforms we have available. We broke, I believe, a little bit over 5,600 on the Facebook platform, so that's really good. And then our group chat platform is just growing faster than we could keep up. So I've been adding different administrators to kind of manage and answer a couple questions when I can. I want to talk about the time that I'm most busy, and that time would be during the weekends. So usually during Thursday through Sunday, I'm extremely busy, with my work, and it's probably the worst time to reach out to me. It's actually better to reach out to me during the weekday, Monday through Wednesday. Those are the days I usually go to school, but those are the days that I devote usually to get back to and answer as many questions that I can. Usually Thursday through Sunday, I'm occupied with work. I'm occupied with, my homework and the different businesses that I run on the side as well. And it's very hard to, answer all your guys' questions. And I want to make sure that you guys don't take offense to that. I want to answer that, everything that I can, but I do seem to be falling behind big days. So just to let you guys know or make you guys aware, if you guys ever see someone reaching out to me, the best way to reach out to me is through the group chat platform, to actually DM me or to tag me. But although the hundreds if not thousands of messages that are on the main group chat, it's really difficult for me to in a sense just identify or discover if you do tag me sometimes, because of the flood of messages that just follow right after. And I want to answer all the questions that I can for you guys. So feel free to reach out to me, and that would be the best way. So give me 1 quick second. I'm going to start logging in. There you go. I'm going to go to the main or to the live chat. Let's see who's on. And then if any of you guys, calendar has arrived. If there's anyone that is being disrespectful for whatever reason that you think with the group chat is shouldn't be in here, message me or at least make it present, and then I'll go ahead and remove them. I want to make sure that it's just either the TechBot Solutions members or people that are interested. For people that are trying to spam this, just go ahead and filter them out. As you guys have seen, there has been a lot of people or a good amount of people, and it's going to continue to happen. And as this group continues to grow, we're going to have to disrupt or corrupt, right? Group chat because of how positive the environment is. What I'm asking from you guys is, if you know anyone that's reaching out to you, privately or trying to send you a message telling you, maybe you should try this, or trying to have you join a specific group outside of TechBot Solutions, you're welcome to do whatever it is that you want to do, and you as an investor have to decide what's best for you. I'm telling you that I don't allow any other third party or other tech but solutions, there shouldn't be anyone messaging you to join any other group. And usually a lot of those are spams. And I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that and to feel comfortable. And if you do get contacted by them, feel free to message me and I'll go ahead and remove them from the group. Send me a screenshot and I'll take care of it. I want to make sure that each and every one of you feel as welcomed and just not. I feel like I really don't want this. I'm not going to make this in a sense, group chat and the group chat platform that we're developing to be like StockTwits. I think although StockTwits does offer, a good networking environment, it's very manipulative and it's very corrupt. I think with the people that are actually sharing information, they're sharing it for their own, just benefit and not really to help one another out. I think for those members that are part of TechBridge Solutions, and with all the testimonials that we have gathered, it's made very clear that we're, in a sense, a team. We're here to help one another out. And although some of you don't agree with different things that we do, as in, we have the pending Facebook post that we have to actually approve it before anyone actually anything out there. If you want to get something out there quick, that's why we have the group chat. And those are actually one of the comments that we did up, or one of the suggestions that we ended up making. The Facebook platform is more to share kind of like your earnings, or if you guys have any general questions, that doesn't have to be answered right away. And you guys just want to put it out there, right? And we do a very good job filtering out spam and removing members that we TechBridge Solutions for the best interest. I hope this is something that you guys appreciate, and I hope that you guys can help support, this movement that we're trying to make. We want to make sure that, the biggest reason that there's a great connotation with trading penny stocks is because of how manipulative it can be, with people always trying to deceive you and with people always trying to take advantage of you. And I feel if we can filter that out, this gray area or this opportunity for margin wouldn't be so just unrealistic for a lot of members and for a lot of people. So we're trying to increase that 10% just people who actually make a profit off of the stock market, for me to be able to expose you guys to ideas and best practices, and provide you with a platform where you guys can network with one another and share best practices and learn from the best and kind of branch off of that, right? So that's pretty much it. So I want to see, let's see, all the messages that are being shared. Riding with MG says, I'm on. Hey, Ricky, what's up, man? Says Lucas Hughes says, looking good, Ricky. How's AZ? AZ is getting hotter. Yeah, so that's, yeah. And Jay Gamble says, make me rich. Well, it's definitely not going to be easy. But if you're willing to work for it, then that shouldn't be an issue. Ford, my 15 Mustang GT, help me. Or Alex Hernandez actually messaged that we actually have a group called Mobile Investments that you might want to look into. Talks about buying and selling cars. Jamar Schmidt says, what's up, Ricky? Or Ricky, what's up? What's up, man? Motivated me to trade and invest in other businesses today. Would not be successful without your help. That's really nice to hear. That's by Joe Roha Ziki. But I really do appreciate that. So that's really nice to hear. What's up, Ricky? When did you decide to take your loss and what percentage? All right. What's your major at ASU? Getting into my master's in KY. All right, so I'll start answering some of your guys' questions in just a bit. So I'm sorry I can't get to all of them right now, but how I'm going to separate kind of these next 30 minutes, it's going to be, I'm going to talk about last week. I'm going to answer a couple of your questions, and I'm going to perform technical analysis at the very end. And if you guys want me to perform any technical analysis at the very end, there's going to be a part for that, but don't kind of suggest it right now because I'm not going to actually do them right now. So if you guys want the biggest or the best opportunity for me to perform that, then go ahead and let me know in just a couple minutes. So let's talk about last week and how it went. If you guys saw with how active I was last week, it wasn't as active as I was the weeks before. And I think now just getting the system down with I've been uploading every day for my daily recaps, and now I'm trying to upload by 12 o'clock 12 o'clock afternoon Mountain Standard Time, so Eastern Standard Time. I believe that's you guys are 2 hours ahead right now, or 3 hours ahead, not too sure. So you guys are at 2 or 3, And I feel like that's a good just time for me to post my recaps. And then I post one helpful video Monday through Friday at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time, so possibly 8:30 or 7:30, depending on where you are across the world or the United States. But I've got the system going, and although I have the system going, I usually make my helpful videos and then I post them, and I usually film them all in one day, and I try to answer all your guys' questions for that week, and then upload them and have them scheduled. I don't really like that. It's becoming more of a and the reason I'm talking to you guys about this is because I don't want my videos to become something. Again, I don't have a huge following, right? I have like a little bit over 7,000 subscribers. Overall with TechBud Solutions, we have a little bit over close to 11,000 people. It's a big enough following that I take pride in, and I can't thank you guys enough for everyone that does end up following not just me but the platform. But I don't like being so systematic when it comes to the content that I'm sharing. I want it to be more personal. I want it to be more relatable, and I want you guys to feel like you guys are a part of it. So I don't know what it is that I can do or create that can make you guys feel more of part of this movement. I don't want it to be kind of just like, all right, I'm just gonna be posting every day and that's it, put content out there and so be it. I want it to be something where I can really just, I don't know, I love talking to you guys. This is probably one of my most, other than trading with you guys, I love trading with you guys Monday through Friday, especially when you guys are making large amounts of money or just trading with me, and it's really fun. I look forward to waking up every morning. It's 6:30 Mountain Standard Time, so for all of us in Eastern Standard Time, you guys wake up at 9. Must be very nice to wake up at 9 and trade. I have to wake up at 6:30, so it is a little bit more difficult. I usually wake up at 5:50 for the pre-market movers and stuff like that. But I'm motivated and I'm so pumped to do it because I have such an amazing team, in a sense, to motivate me. But I want this to become something that you guys feel to be a part of. If you guys have any suggestions, again, because I really want to hear everything that you guys have to say, DM me if you guys are in the group chat and give me any suggestions. And you guys always say, please don't ever apologize for reaching out to me. No matter how busy I am, even if it's the times that I'm busy, don't ever apologize for reaching out to me. I want to make sure that you guys know that I'm here for your help, and that I have people in TechBuds that are designed to actually help you guys. So please, apologizing for my assistance is not anything that you guys have to do. If anything, I want to thank you guys for taking the time and reaching out to me, because you guys have put time aside in your day to actually reach out and develop this question or concern that you guys want to learn. And I want to make sure that this isn't, I think one of the biggest flaws in the public school system is just questions and kind of that bad connotation of answering or asking a question is looked down upon with it. I think that really acts as or in a sense a barrier to actually growing as an individual, growing in your knowledge. I think one of the biggest things or the best things that I want to in a sense focus on is to make sure that you guys feel welcome to ask questions no matter what it is or no matter who it's to. This is a networking environment. If you don't ask, then you won't know. No matter, still need to do your own research in the sense of we do have a series of helpful videos that are designed to, so I would suggest looking through that first and then answer or ask any questions that you guys have, because I have taken the time to develop that. But there's nothing wrong with asking me a question, no matter how many times I enter it a day, again, to be here for you guys. And I want to make sure that you guys feel welcomed. With that being said, suggestions, DM me. Let me know what you guys think on what I should do with the content. If you guys like what I'm doing, then I'll go ahead and continue to do it the way that I do with the times and the set times and the daily recap videos and all that. But when it comes to trading, I think one of the biggest group chats that I'm involved in are pre-market movers and the general group chat, right? General group chat in the main group chat, pre-market movers. If you guys don't have it, again, it's pinned on the TechBud Solutions very top post. It has the pre-market movers. That's where we talk about before the actual market opens, the stocks that are seeing good amounts of volume and that are trending. I really like being a part of that because that kind of sets us up on the support and resistance level for the rest of the day. And it makes it very easy for me to kind of filter out and set 2 to 3 different stocks that I'm going to focus on that entire day, making it less overwhelming for me. And that's just something that I've learned and again, a best practice that I'm sharing. maybe what I can do a little bit better for this upcoming week is I kept stop lossing out in profit, right? But my profit margins were very low. And I did this with TOPS. It jumped all the way to 120, and I ended up stop lossing out at 115, and when I got in at 112. And I did it with DRYS. I did it with stocks that saw like 20, 30% profit, and I locked in 2 to 5%. Green's green. And I want to make sure that I don't feel anything wrong. But again, about growing as a trader, you have to, in a sense, just mark and write everything that you're doing, in a sense, so you can take a step back, analyze yourself as a trader, and see how you can improve yourself and test it out. It doesn't mean that you have to stick to it. So last week, I was green for the week, right? I locked in my profits a little too soon, in my opinion. So what I can do this upcoming week is more just realistic, in a sense of, if I'm investing and I really see the potential, to not be so greedy into locking the profits, right? Not to be so greedy, but to give it a little bit more space to make some more profit, and not be scared, to keep my stop loss and potentially losing 1 to 2%, but having my potential for profit being 10, 15%. And with that so that's something that I'll try this upcoming week, to be a little bit more, in a sense, risky, but less comes to my potential profit, because I missed out on a lot of money that you guys were able to capitalize on, which is amazing. But for myself, where I think that I can improve myself as a trader is taking a step back, analyzing, see what I did wrong, so locking in my profits too early, give it a little bit more space, give it a little bit more time, and see how that plays out for this upcoming week. If I see, oh wow, I ended up the week barely with any profit or actually in the red, and I was like, okay, well then I can actually go back and just not being stingy, but being a little bit more, not realistic, but just lock in the profits a little bit quicker. If that's what leads to my success, then so be it. Again, you're not here to prove yourself to anyone. You're here to make profit and to see steady growth. And that's definitely something that I want to make sure that you guys are aware of. One of the best ways on doing it is to set up a plan and what your goals are, setting up a quota, right? So if your month is to make $1,000, then you should be shooting for $50 every time you guys trade, and trying to stay on track, right? There's a lot of you that have been doing an amazing job and a beautiful job sending me your guys' spreadsheets on how you guys have aggressively been growing as traders, as well as your accounts. And I think that's an amazing thing, and I think that's an amazing best practice that you guys should share to the team. And where's the best place to share it? It would be on the Facebook platform, since we don't have a flood of messages, in a sense, just throwing you up within the stream of messages. So I do have a lot of suggestions that you guys are sending me right now, so thank you for that. And into that, so that was pretty much last week. That's my biggest area of improvement for last week, and what's to kind of come to this upcoming week. And although it's not really something that you guys are experiencing, right? Some of you might, some of you might not. One of the biggest things that I think that some of you are experiencing, and this is just because of the flood of messages that I receive, or the number of messages that I receive, is that a lot of you feel, and I felt this before, and I want you guys to tell me in the live chat. You guys give me a thumbs up, or me telling me that every time you guys choose to jump into a stock, all of a sudden it starts to drop, and then once you choose to sell, it goes up. How many of you, letting me know right now, have ever felt like that? Because I know I've been in that position where I'm just like, man, I should really just, when I choose or decide to jump into a stock, I should really just short it, because every time I do, it ends up going down. And if any of you guys feel that way, I've definitely been in that situation. And one of the biggest things that, or there's some of you say no, that you guys aren't in that, and that's great. That means that you guys are doing something better than I did, when I first started. And one of the biggest things that I learned, one of the biggest things that I was able to learn from because of that, was to not be so focused. I think a lot of these members or a lot of members within our group, again, there's nothing wrong with this, and I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that, but that you guys are so just hyped up and just want to jump into the next big stock and want to ride it up without really knowing anything about it. And if you guys identify support and identify resistance, you guys just jump right in at the support. And although that might work from time to time, one of the biggest things that we talk about is only jumping into stocks that you see upward momentum. And what I mean by that is, for your support to be identified as a a true support, you have to see a bounce. And a good analysis or good indicator that can, in a sense, help you identify that is EMA, which is exponential moving average. It's an indicator that you can use on TD Ameritrade or SMA, right? On TD Ameritrade and Fidelity, and the series of different brokerage companies except Robinhood. So what you guys can do is use those indicators to identify, if your support is at like tops. Right now, the support is at $1.05. The resistance is right at $1.12, if I'm not mistaken. So as it's coming down, right now it's at 108. What we can look at for Monday, if pre-market mover or during pre-market hours, if it holds above 105, that's still identifying that as a support. So once the market opens to everyone, what we can see is if we see the bounce, at 105 and it's at 105 and that's the support, don't jump in. What I would suggest, and again, you guys are more than welcome to do whatever it is that you guys want, but what I would suggest that has helped me as an investor for these series of penny stocks is to take a step back, not be so focused on getting in at that 105, but waiting for that volume or waiting for that stock to actually bounce to go to 106, 107, and to actually see upward momentum, identifying, that was a true support, meaning that you were correct. That is where it bounced. And now you have from 107 to 112 for it to actually gap up. Although your profit margin is less, you're in the green. And that's something that you weren't in before. So again, it's identifying a support, waiting for it to identify as a true support, and then jumping in when you can identify as an investor upward momentum. And let me know what you guys think, if you guys think that wouldn't work for you guys either. And there's other things that I can try to clarify for you guys so it makes more sense to you, or something that can eventually lead to your success. But I definitely have felt that way, that it's like, okay, well, Apple, the support is at $1, right? Again, I know it's not at $1. Every time I jump in at $1, it goes below. And one of the things that we talk about is once a stock breaks its support, it becomes a new resistance level. And now it drops below. If you didn't set a stop loss, now you're in the red. And now you're just hoping for it to come back up to where it was to just break even. And that's one of the worst feelings, especially when it's like it comes back up to 98. And then you're like, no, I'll just wait to kind of break even. And then ends up going back down. I've been in your shoes. I've been in that position where it's just like, oh, I just want to make my money back. Don't get greedy, set a stop loss. I set my stop loss right below the support. It doesn't mean in no way that you guys have to. And a lot of you guys, because you guys have that pattern day trading restriction, wouldn't benefit from that all the time. 2.5% is going to be ideal, because you want to make sure that your profits exceed or are more than your losses. And if they're not, then you're going to have a red account, meaning that you're going to be in the red, you're going to start losing money. And then you're not going to be interested in investing and be discouraged and no longer want to do this. So that is my feedback for I'm seeing your guys' messages and stuff like that. So that's pretty much my feedback and my best practices to help you guys on, in a sense, just suggestions that you guys have been reaching out to me about. And I'm sure hundreds of you have been experiencing the same thing, but didn't know how to overcome it. So I hope this video clarifies it. And if it does, then that's great. That's what these whole videos are for, to share best practice. And that's the whole point, that what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Can you set a stop loss on an OTC stock? Yeah, you can set a stop loss on anything as long as your brokerage company offers it. So it's a Sam Picca Powell says, dang, that's a good idea, Ricky. Super simple, but makes sense. And again, yeah, I am making it very elementary, just to give you guys a general understanding. If you guys want me to clarify, again, the best way to make sure that I read your message is to DM me through the group chat platform, not through Facebook, not through anything else, but through the group chat platform. All right, so now I'm going to start answering your guys' questions. Again, these aren't going to be your technical analysis suggestions. I want to answer questions that you guys have, and I'm going to spend about 10 minutes doing this. So if I'm going to do it as of now. So the next one I see is McQuery says, I want a TechBuds t-shirt. If you guys saw, we were pretty much testing the material, and let me know what you guys think. And it's just something that I like, because I just wanted to get more I really don't care too much if you guys see everything that I wear. It's very simple. there's not a lot going on, and I want the material to be, I focus more on the material rather than the actual, obviously, logo or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to be simple. One of my buddies, Sergio, is actually the one that put this one together, but it's almost a fish tone. I'm super tall, and I'm like lengthy, I'm like skinny and tall and weird, right? But this one fits me pretty good, and we're just working on, t-shirts for myself that we can, that I can wear, or my friends can wear. And if you guys like it, then let me know if you guys have any logos or anything like that. But this is pretty much it. So pretty much, and then it has like a little like fish tail and stuff like that. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Nothing crazy, but yeah, I don't know why I got into that. This logo is definitely not going to be one on it, or not the one that we're going to use. Again, we're just testing out the material, and the material is like really good quality. The collar is like very thin, which is what I like. It's kind of like that H&M like stretchy material. It's not any of that. I don't know. Sergio knows like all the stuff about it. Feeling, and that was it. I'm really picky with what I choose to wear, in a sense that I want everything to be simple, and I just want it to feel good, and this definitely feels good. What's the best chat room to be in for a beginner? This is by Marco Salazar. So the best chat room that I would suggest within TechBud Solutions is the general chat room. When we're developing our website right now, or our platform for TechBud Solutions, and we're going to be designing a general group chat for actual beginners. And it's going to send you guys through, in a sense, we're going to be exactly, or if I should be saying it or anything like that, but I mean, you guys are my buddies, my friends. So pretty much we're going to be developing this where it's going to, in a sense, gather a good amount of beginners to kind of grow you guys as investors, and then move you guys on to the general group chat. Because what we've been getting in the general group chat, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can vouch for this, is repetitive questions, and they're frequently asked questions. And we always refer you guys to watch my helpful videos within my YouTube playlist, because they're all made to answer frequently asked questions, but platform will do a way better job actually filtering these certain beginner traders to content that they actually need at that specific moment. We don't want you guys to always have to search for it. We want it to be easy for you guys, and that's in a sense what we're going to be designing. But as of now, the main group chat is the one I would suggest. All right. Had a lot of questions. Holy moly. What bad or different about an OTC stock? Well, if I'm not mistaken, they're usually stocks that don't meet NASDAQ requirements, in that they can't be traded under like the Robinhood platform, and it's a limited platform, meaning that it's a true penny stock, a sheet stock. So it makes it a lot more risky because they don't have to meet NASDAQ requirements, which means that they can put to kind of, in a sense, create pump and dumps. And that's what makes it very difficult for investors to identify potential, because they're just all over the place. So once you get a larger account, I wouldn't suggest or ever really trading any of those stocks. But a number of people within our group have been doing pretty well. But I would, if you want to be successful, I think in the long run, to stray away from that. How many stocks do you set up to watch during the day? Well, during the night, I perform my technical analysis, and I've been trying to be a little bit more active within the technical analysis feed. That's the group chat that we have, and kind of submit some technical analysis that I'm performing, and asking you guys for any suggestions. But pretty much, I go through about 20 to 30 different stocks, sometimes even 50, my entire watch list, and I perform technical analysis on all of them, since I don't have any screeners. And then I filter it out to 5 to 10 different stocks, and then during pre-market movers, I narrow it down to 3 to 5 different stocks, depending on how I'm feeling in the morning. So again, what's my view on CBR? I'm going to be doing those a little bit later. Fidelity minimum deposit. I believe the minimum deposit, depending on what account you have, is about $50. And for some accounts, if you have like a traditional IRA, it's 50, I believe. But if you have a certain other type of account, it might be 2,000. You might want to speak to Fidelity rep if you want, to be clarified on that. Have you traded options before? No, I have not. Do you? Okay. So Alex Hernandez is like, I'm gonna go check the patterns on Robinhood after this video. I think that's a good thing. How far, this is by Dave Blanley, how far do we go, or how far back do we go for analysis? What I would suggest is to go far back enough. I mean, if you're going to be day trading, it's usually about 10 days or even just 5 days that I would go back to see if it has that margin for profit, meaning that if it's done that movement, from 120 to $1, and it has that potential to, or it has done it within the past couple of days, that it's jumped up within 1 day of $1 to 110, $1 to 120, or have done those jumps in the sense that it shows that it has that potential to make it within that day. So if it can do that within 5 to day periods, then that shows a good sign. But also, it's not bad looking, a little bit further back to see kind of where it stands within the fiscal year. David says, I want 4 shirts, Rick. Steve Sanchez says, hey, Ricky, do you have a morning routine? If so, what? So pretty much I wake up, my bed's right there. I either go down to my trading area in my living room, or I stay here, or I either trade in my bed since I trade off my phone or my computer. But it's really simple. I have an internet connection. I have my phone and my laptop, which I have all my technical analysis set up. And if I feel good enough, then I go downstairs and I put them up all on my screens. But if not, then I can simply trade here, but I'll be trading a little bit less active, meaning that no more than 5 stocks. So Mike Dude 91 says, going to attempt to buy and sell stocks on Robinhood for the first time tomorrow. That's really exciting. So just make sure you jump into a good stock and make sure that you can identify it as a good buy. What's about the credit cycle contraction and the monetary contraction? Has downward pressure on prices. Not too sure about what you mean by that. That's by Mr. Dr. Serious. So cool, not too much and simple. I like it. I'm guessing he's talking about that's writing with Mr. G or MG. He's talking about the shirts. What's the best? Okay, Fidelity deposit. Okay. I'm trying to read all your guys' question. So writing with MG says I'd buy one top versus tech buds means tech buddies. LOL. We really came up with the name randomly. There wasn't any specific name on why it was tech buds. I really just wanted to, in a sense, have kind of like a technology company. So Danny Cosa says you'll definitely pick up one of these shirts. I appreciate it. Says we didn't know you were a model too. Says Ricky, how did I purchase my first rental property? Do you have a mortgage on it, or did you buy it up front? Any advice? This by Kyle Valens. I did buy my first investment property with a mortgage, and it was about building my credit and having the money up front, in a sense, as well as having, in a sense, the income. Right, I had the income, I had the credit, and I had enough money to put down for 10% plus for my down payments and stuff like that. But you don't always have to do that. I was just a little bit more aggressive because of my age, and I wanted to make sure I got a really good price. So what's the period that you get support and resistance? 1 to 5 days. Really depends. I usually like doing 2-day analysis because I can really jump in now right away. And it can identify that 10% potential a little bit easier. But I like looking further back to see previous support and resistance and different levels of support and resistance. What do I need to do to start before watching you to learn? I have I've not done this before. So this is by Teresita Agustin. So what I would suggest before jumping in is to set up a plan. What is it like? And I'm going to make a video kind of like identifying your motivation. That's going to be this upcoming week. But one of the biggest things is that I want you guys, like, what's the reason you guys no, I mean, to make extra money, but how much? And if so, you know how much, and you have a goal, make sure it's realistic and then set up a plan. And then in doing so, then it's about learning, setting up a plan, getting your feet wet with that paper trading, simulation trading, and then actually, growing your account for the meanwhile. So once you're developed enough as a trader, then you have this account that can accommodate the type of trader you are. Therefore, you can jump in, you'll know the knowledge, you'll know how to invest, and you'll have the account that can accommodate, the growth that you're willing to see. So it's all about having a plan. And there's one of my helpful videos that actually answers that question. So what stock did he just talk about? Can't understand it. I'm sorry, man. How long does it take for a technical? How long does it take to a technical analysis on a stock? That's by Ray and Lewis. I'm thinking you're asking how long does it take me to perform a technical analysis? I actually do them pretty quick. It doesn't take long for me to identify support resistance. It takes me about like less than a minute. With different indicators and stuff like that, it gets a little bit takes a little bit longer, but not too much. What do you use to alert yourself? If you're talking about how do I set alerts, I actually made a video about that, but I use the TD Ameritrade platform and the Fidelity platform. One's for just my computer and it reminds me of that. The TD Ameritrade platform alerts me live on my actual phone. Yeah, so Victor New says, with a 25K account, would you limit your buys to 3K? So yeah, my account actually is over 25,000, but I choose to invest, $3,000 or less. And the reason why is I continue to progressively increase that amount. But as a trader, let's say I lose the 3,000, I wouldn't be as devastated if I were to lose, the 30,000 that we have in our account. So with that being said, as I continue to learn and develop myself as a trader, I will continue to grow my account. In no way do I use, my day trading money as my main source of income, and I'm in no rush to make, the largest amount of money as possible. Once I know that I'm not, the best trader that I can possibly be. It's still about being patient, growing and letting your account grow as you grow as an investor. I think that's something that you really need to take a step back and really identify and be realistic. You're not going to just get it always. And you need to understand that. You need to make sure that your account isn't too large, that you're going to be losing more money than making because you're not as experienced. So I think that's a very good question. So it says, Mr. Doctor, says you're answering very basic questions. What about deep level questions like where the market is going? Could you do a live stream with that? Overall economic trend. I can definitely, if that's something that you guys want. So an overall, just more deep questions where I can have like, a discussion board and you guys submit all the questions you guys want and we'll pick the top 10, most rated questions and then we'll focus on that. I think that's an amazing idea. So I wouldn't mind that. Let me know if you guys want me to do that. Do you do a watch list for the next day like others? I have a watch list, an overall watch, and then I just filter out stocks. So I have them just memorized on the ones that I don't have them memorized. I actually have them on my computer to them when the market opens and then perform analysis on them again in the morning. All right, so I'm getting good amount of questions. Holy moly, there's a lot. All right, so Connor Lemonton says, could you do a video on how to perform a technical analysis? I've actually already made a video on that. All right, so 7:10. Let's go ahead and get into the technical analysis portion. So if you guys have any suggestions or any questions, you guys can message me through the main group chat, and that would be the best way. And again, for all those, I did see some questions that were a little bit longer, but because of the time that I have, I can't devote all that time right now. But please go ahead and reach out to me, and I'll either answer your question personally, or if not, then we'll do that live stream that we were talking about. Okay, so now we're going to be doing the suggestions on for the technical analysis. All right, so I'm going to pick the top 4 stocks that are being talked about. Go. So I see CGIX, Stream, Rainbow. I do that every week. They're called Sunday Stock Talks. Helpingstocks.com. Can you do tops? All right, I'm going to start adding them here, and then I'm going to just so CG. CGIX was one that was recommended. I'll do SSH. That was for Ben R. SSH is it meeting NASDAQ requirement, so that's why it's constantly been seen or consistent. I don't want to let you guys know I see that right away. It has like a little exclamation mark with a triangle. So that's not a good sign. So definitely not hold. There's one that's being talked about a lot, so we'll go ahead and do that. That one is also getting delisted, so it hasn't met NASDAQ requirements. I think would be a good one, so I'll do that one for all the gold ETF traders. For all those that that are asking how do you grow your watch list, I think using kind of all these messages that are being shared right now just to add to your watch list. So once you know as a trader how to actually identify potential, you can go back and look at your watch list, and then you have a series of stocks to kind of in a sense reference off of to identify potential. So yeah. Let's actually do tops, and then I'll do one more. So one more going out. Let's see. Tell me which one you guys want me to do. I already have CBR as one of the ones, and Gale. Tops is already one of them, and JDST is the other. And then we have SSH and CGIX. All right. We'll do ZSAN, okay? Or I'll do ZSAN and since these are, yeah, EBIO. So that we'll just leave it at that. And if you guys have any ones that you guys want me to do personally, then message me directly and I'll try to perform them for you. So ZSAN and Oh, EBI. So message me through the group chat, DM me, and then I'll get back to you there. You guys are hilarious. I added another one just for you guys. All right, I'm gonna start sharing my screen. So sorry that I took so long to do those, and I'm gonna do them pretty quickly. I'm gonna just identify the support, resistance, and my overall just what I think about it. Okay. Yeah, JDST is on the list, so I'm gonna start sharing my screen. All right, so starting off with CGIX. CGIX has, obviously this is a 1-year analysis, as you guys can see here. This is the advanced chart, and you do have to have an open account with money through Fidelity to open this account. It saw a peak at a little bit over $5, and it's now seeing a downward trend. It saw a huge pump, right? It has a support at 350, and identify that, and that's by a 1-day candlestick. So open it up and see kind of how it's playing out. So yeah, that 350 support is a good sign. Where's the resistance? It looks like it's at about $4. Is that hard to believe? No. So it became a support and then it broke below the support, as you guys can see here. It bounced at around 350 and then showed signs of upward momentum or upward trend. Now that it's above $4, it closed at 410. Where is it more likely going to be? Does it have 10% potential, right? And yes, from $4 to $4.40, it definitely does have the 10% potential. So it also has, it really has that potential also to drop down to a little bit, at that 350 support. So what I would suggest is to have a plan. If it goes below $4, then that's most likely a sign that it's going to drop down to that 350 support. But if it holds above, during pre-market hours above $4, then $4 to 410 isn't a bad buy. But just know that a good exit point is around 440, and that's the resistance. The reason I'm identifying 440 as a resistance is because of this right here. The reason $4 is our current support is because it was a previous support right here, and it was a previous resistance, identifying that old supports become new resistance levels, and now broke above that. But it does have the potential to see a downward trend. Where is it most likely going to bounce? Well, based on this bounce right here, there's a support at around 350. So that could be a good one. All right. So let me go to SSH. I'm going to show extended hours, and overall, this one doesn't look too well. This one's the one that has that, obviously has seen consistent downward trend. So this is definitely not a hold, right? It has showed a good support, as you can see right here, at around $1.70. It's kind of flatlined, and it's flatlining right here around 180. It has gone below 180, but it's showing, kind of a good support. Do you guys see that? So I'm going to get a little bit closer and kind of try to see where the resistance is at. What looks like the resistance most likely is going to be around 185. Yep, as you guys can see, it peaks out at 185. So what would be a good sign or a good thing for you guys to do is to set an alert when it goes above 180. An alert showing that it's going above 180, meaning is that it's breaking this resistance and that it has that potential to potentially, hit this $2 resistance that you guys can see right here. So it's all about having a plan. Identifying the resistance at 185. So 180 to 185 really isn't going to be your 10% potential. So what I would suggest is to wait till it breaks above 185 and that it holds, showing signs of good volume, good upward momentum, and seeing if it can perform what it did a couple days ago from 180 to $2. And right there you have at least your 10% potential. All right. But that is it for that wolf. Now, CBR has been one that I've heard of before, and that definitely one that's been in my watch list. it does get pumped a lot, as you guys can see here from that 25 cents all the way to that 65 cents and seeing a downward trend. So this one is a little bit more difficult to actually, it's definitely not one that you want to hold, right? So I would say definitely a day trade for this one. Has a support right around here at 28 cents, as you can see these bounce. This is a really good indicator that when it does have these solid, bounces down, then it's most likely going to start staircasing down, hit that support, and then show signs of upward trend. It, had that huge spike, most likely meaning that it's going to start staircasing up. And now we're seeing the same thing, but now it's showing signs of upward momentum. So this one again it's more of a stock that I would stay away from because it's less than $1, and it's going to be a little bit harder for you to actually make or to identify support and resistance. What I mean by that is, look, if you're trying to cut your losses at less than 2.5%, it's going to hard to do that. It's going to be hard to do that when the stock, when 1 cent is 2.5% already, meaning that you have to cut your losses if it drops 1 cent, which it does move around a lot. So it's going to be harder for you to manage in a sense your loss or your profit. So again, with more risk comes more reward. But again, as a new trader, I wouldn't suggest this to be a stock that I would choose to invest in because it's definitely one that you can take huge losses in. So these are the supports and resistance that I've been able to identify. It looks like it's bounced off this 32 cent support and it's heading to this 42 resistance. This margin of profit, in my opinion, isn't enough to take the risk of it dropping from 37 down to 28. So set your alerts on when it gets closer a little bit, below the 35 cent mark to actually catch it at the bounce and try to ride it up. But that's just my opinion. Now for JDST, this one's been definitely in our watch list. It's one that I've traded before. Usually has a resistance at around 1550. And that resistance has been holding. It hasn't been able to break 16 for the past couple of days. But when it does, this should be a really, nice one to actually jump into. But it does have a nice support. It had one at 1360. And that was before. Actually, it didn't hold too bad. So this is actually 1360 resistance at 1560. Came back down, bounced nearly at that same support, a little bit below $14, so around 1390. Now, what's to come, right? Now it has this margin of 1480 to the 1563. So it doesn't have nearly that 10% profit, but it does have margins of profit. So this is one that I would suggest because it's a little bit more of a pricier stock, meaning that the areas of movements or the movement that it has, like the movement that it has for profit, is a little bit easier to identify than compared to a true penny stock. So if you lose 10 cents on this one, it's going to be a fraction of a percentage rather than a true penny stock right away losing 20%. So with this one is one that I would suggest more to kind of experience and gain your experience from rather than any other stock because it has easier supports to identify, easier resistance to identify, and if it does take a dip, it's a lot easier for members, especially new members, to cut their losses. But I would identify a support around the 1380 as of now because of this bounce that it had to 1360, so that's a good buy point. It looks like it has a resistance at 1480, so that dollar margin of profit. It's showing signs of downward trend. Hopefully it bounces at 1460 and then we can ride it back up. But again, we'll really have to see how it opens during pre-market hours. Hopefully it comes back down to this $14 mark. And we can identify that as a good buy. But again, simply by adding these indicators as in like EMA, so I can add that. This out and then change this more to 10 minutes, it will react a little bit quicker and it identifies a good buy point. Let me do a 2-day analysis. All right. Yeah, so identified as like in a sense upward momentum a little bit more, a little bit below 440, and then resistance at around, or it kind of crossed the CMA, showing signs of downward momentum at around 1470. So again, just use different indicators to identify support and resistance. Now for TOPS, this is one that we're definitely waiting to bank on, just because of how volatile it's been within the past couple of days. This one does have a support at 105. It has broken below 105. I believe it's hit lows of 104, a fraction of 104. Has a current resistance that it wasn't able to break at 112, another resistance at 115, and another one at 120. So as long as it continues to hold at 105, I would wait to see upward momentum and for the volume to increase. It's very frustrating to be stuck, in a sense, in an area like this where it just keeps bouncing from 108 to 109, 108 to 109, and doesn't do anything. You want to make sure that the volume is right, that you can get in and out in a in a matter of minutes with a penny stock, and that it has that potential. So I would wait till the volume increases, maybe even just breaks above 112 to ride it from the 112 potentially to the 120. But at least you're getting in when there's more volume. So that's pretty much it. There's another resistance right here at around the 120, like I said, and another resistance right here around 125. So almost every 5 cents, it tends to have a new support and new resistance. But we definitely need to see tops to have a little bit more increase in volume to get back to where it was, to where it ended up spiking up to that 150. So it definitely does have the potential to have huge spikes up. Just make sure you have a plan, identify good buy point, good sell point, and know where to cut your losses, because this is definitely not one to hold, right? If it does break below $1, I'd say, if you're buying at 105, even just $1, to cut losses anything below $1, because it will just start plummeting from there. Z-Sand, so let's talk about this one. If I do remember correctly, this one actually did go through a reverse stock split, and correct me if I'm wrong. So that's pretty much just the company itself doesn't want to or wants to meet like probably NASDAQ requirements. So it went through a reverse stock split, which isn't necessarily a good sign. Still really a penny stock, right? Resistance really right here, and it's pretty much it's been plateauing right on this $2. So I don't see much potential. Does have another resistance, and again, we're talking about day trades. Does have a potential from $2 to 220, but again, not really. Just has done it once, and that was a couple of days ago. Has more potential when it's down here at that 155 mark. It sees more volume and bigger spikes within the day. So I would wait a little bit more. Either if we can get above this $2. That would be ideal to be able to trade within this area of $2 to 220, or let it wait to be patient and get in around 155 and stuff like that, to potentially $2, where I see a lot more margin for profit. So EBIO. Let me change this for you guys. All right, so right now it's right about the middle. There's a good resistance at 240. This is one that I've traded before. Right now it's at 220, so it does have that 10% potential. Definitely has a better buy area or buy ratio around $2. As you can see, this bounce that was able to set. As you can see that it swooped up right here, hit a resistance, then kind of started staircasing down. It's showing signs of downward momentum as the candlesticks are below this EMA line. So we're most likely going to see a downward trend, and if we start seeing this pickup at $2, then that would identify it to be as a good buy. If not, then it's most likely going to start bleeding back down to this 185 support that it previously had, or this $2 support that it previously had. So that potential, but you want to make sure that you get it at a good buy point. 210 isn't a bad buy point as long as it bounces like it did here, or $2 as it did here, but you want to make sure you cut your losses below 210 as it's broken the support, and get in at a better buy point. What I'm reading from your guys' live chat is that EBIO is all news at the moment, not charts. So that's something that you guys might want to look into. Again, I don't know anything about EBIO as based on where it's currently standing as a company. I would suggest really doing your own analysis and not letting anyone else, in a sense, influence your trade. And I think performing your technical analysis, identifying the potential, and if the news is there to support it, then that's where you can make your decision as a trader to choose to jump in. And this is the last one that I'm going to be doing. So ATHX. This one ran a lot longer. I think this one's way too inflated, especially based on the current price where it's at this past 10 days. It's seen downward trend since this peak at $2. It used to trade, at this $1, $1.10, $1.13. Yeah, it does show to have a support around 170 unless we really see the volume start to increase. I would suggest, try to stay away. It will have solid bounces, as you can see these bounces that it's been having. Volume isn't really good. It's showing upward momentum to after market hours, but a resistance at 180. As you can see, as there was a previous support, now a new resistance. So if it breaks above 180, then that can, show signs of from 180 to $2. But if it breaks below, 170, and that would only identify 150 to be the next support. So this is one that I'm going to set my alerts on, and to see, although it might be having red days, we can catch it at these bounds. Because look, this one previously closed at like 190. It opened I guess the following day at about because now like 165 and hit highs of about nearly 180. So that's more than 10%. So although it closed on a red day, there's still areas, again, for profit. I want to make sure that you guys understand that, and you guys are reminded that you guys are day traders, and that to not worry about where it stands as a stock, but to perform your technical analysis, set up a plan, identify potential, and then stick to it, right? Being able to identify that upward momentum. But this is definitely one that I would suggest, adding to your watch list and doing your own analysis on. And for all those that ask, where are the links to the Facebook platform? Once you join and you get into the TechBud Solutions platform, the links are provided for you right here. So you actually click see more, and they're all right here. So these are the 5 group chats that we have available, and you guys can simply click on the links and join them once you get into the TechBud Solutions platform. And the YouTube channel, we have our uploads here, and we have the series of helpful videos that you guys can pretty much just go through, and it answers a series of questions, and there's a good amount of videos that you guys have access to. So that is it. I do want to thank you guys again. I'm sorry that I took a little bit more of your time. We've been live for about 1 hour, so I do thank you guys for all your time. If there's anything else that I can this is random. If you guys have any suggestions or any questions for anything or any videos that you guys want me to elaborate on or want me to make for you guys know how to get in contact with me. Reach out to me in the group chat platform or tag me. But again, reaching out to me, the best way is through the DM. But that is it. I'm really excited for this upcoming week. I hope you guys are too. Again, don't overwhelm yourself, and really understand that you need to take this serious. As although day trading is fun and there's huge margin for profit, I feel like a lot of members take advantage or kind of get very hyped up when they have a really green day, because although you might have a really green day as a new trader, you have to understand that this isn't a market where you're going to get lucky all the time. You might get lucky one or a couple of times, but in reality, have to be knowledgeable and you have to be better than the average investor to be successful in this market. And I'm being serious. Like, I really want you guys to be successful, but I need you guys to be serious as well. And that's really just it. So I'm really excited. I can't thank you guys enough for putting time aside and spending time with me on this nice Sunday. And if there's anything that I can do for you, reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to help you guys out any way that I can. If you guys found this video helpful, we'd appreciate the support. If you guys can like, and if you guys can subscribe, that would only give us a better understanding that we're doing, good. So we'd greatly appreciate it if you can. If you guys want to be part of TechBud Solutions, the link is provided for you down below. And I'd love to be a part of your success any way that I can. So Rolf says, say that I love you. Thank you for taking the time to educate us, Rookie. Of course. So now they're telling me to check my email. I'll definitely go ahead and check it and see if I can get back to you on any questions. So I got you, Mr. Dr. Serious. So I'll go ahead and see if I can answer your guys' questions. All right, guys. All right, I'm done. Thank you guys again. Hope you guys have an amazing week. And let's make sure that we start this weekend and this week on a green note. Take care, guys.